What's up? This is your host, Non-Fungible TC, Non-Fungible Today and Non-Fungible Tomorrow. And this is the channel where you like and subscribe to get the latest crypto news, equities market news, and also NFT news. It is possibly the only channel that covers a huge range of news on a daily basis. And I'm also live. So I think one of the biggest news today is Wintermute. They were recently hacked just a few hours ago. And if you look at all the crypto media, right? If you look at Decrypt, Wintermute was hacked. If you look at Cointelegraph, one of the headlines is also, Wintermute was hacked as well. Okay, so 160 million stolen from crypto market maker Wintermute. So the reason why I wanted to cover this is that I want to tell you about the implications and also what happens from the words of the CEO himself. Okay, so for those of you who do not know, here's a recap. Wintermute is a digital asset liquid provider. Okay, they are a leading global algorithmic market maker in digital asset. We create liquid and efficient market on a centralized and decentralized trading platforms and off exchange. So basically what it means is that they have three types of business. They have centralized exchanges. They provide liquidity to centralized exchanges. They also provide liquidity in decentralized trading platform, which is DeFi, and also off the counter, which is OTC, over the counter. So in the cumulative trading volume in billion is actually quite high with more than 1,964 billion. This is actually a huge number, right? Because, 1,000 billion is what, 1 trillion, right? So that's almost like the whole crypto market cap a while back, okay? And then so basically one of the reasons why this is important is that their partners is that they are providing liquidity on over 50 exchanges and trading platforms. They are providing liquidity to Binance, Huobi, Coinbase, Kraken, FTX, Bitfinex, Bitstamp, Uniswap, and DYDX, which is a decentralized exchange. So basically them being hacked is a big deal because they have a lot of different type of partnerships and a lot of exchange that are actually big name exchange that are being supported. So basically what happened, right? So this is Wintermute, okay? They create liquid and efficient market in crypto. So basically what happened? So the CEO is doing a short communication over here. So they have been hacked for 160 million in the DeFi operation, central finance, and also OTC, over-the-counter operations are not affected. So this is DeFi related. They are solvent and trust over the amount of equity left. So basically it means that they have around more than 320 million plus equities in order to sustain this loss. So but 160 million is actually quite a big sum to them if they have trust that amount, right? So around like 33% is gone in 100%. But if you have a market maker agreement with Wintermute, your funds are safe. There will be disruption in our service today and potentially for the next few days, and we'll get back to normal after. So they need some time to sort this out because of this hack. But they have other type of collaboration with different exchanges. So the only concern is whether it will affect the other exchanges because there is a bunch of liquidity gone. Out of 90 assets that has been hacked, only 2 has been for notional over 1 million and none of them more than 2.5 million. So there shouldn't be a major sell-off of any sort. We'll communicate it with both affected teams ASAP. If you are a lender to Wintermute, again, we are solvent, but if you're safer to record a loan, we can absolutely do that. We're still open to treat this as a white hack. If you are the attacker, get in touch, right? So a lot of Web3 influencers and KOLs did tweet this, okay? They talked about, they just retweeted this. So basically it shows you this is a big thing, but they are solvent, so hopefully it won't cause like another contagion event. Yeah, we'll have to see, we have to monitor this. The reason why a lot of media is covering this is because of these partnerships, right? So these exchanges, so we'll see if these exchanges have any issues and stuff like that, because we do not know if there's any cascading effect. So definitely put this in your radar. So moving on to traditional news. If you look at traditional news, Asian market, kind of traded higher. Core inflation in the Japan as the fastest in 8 years. China keep benchmark lending. So yen is at 24 years low, which is actually quite low. But if you look at the news, right, U.S. home builder sentiment keeps tumbling, right? So we are having this retail a real estate thing that is gonna come up soon, right? All the issues of real estate and stuff like that. And one of the reasons why the market is tanked was that actually Biden was at 60 Minutes, and then in 60 Minutes he did say that U.S. will defend Taiwan if China invaded, which kind of caused the weekend dump, for those of you who are wondering why. So basically this is the market, and sentiment fell for the 6 months. So buildings and residential estates are not good. future market shows a 80% chance that the Fed will rate hike by 75% basis point. So this will happen tomorrow. So we'll see. This will definitely affect the market. And one of the biggest news is actually the FOMC, which is tomorrow. Okay. So we'll see, how it goes, and also what the FOMC would say. If it's 75% basis point, that hopefully, it is a, we'll see a slight rally, right? Relief. But if it's higher than 75% basis point, 75 basis point, then the market could go to Goblin Town. So for those of you who do not know, this week is, these few days are going to be volatile in the market because within a 24 hours period this week, there will be 16 central bank rate decisions, including the one from the US, UK, Brazil, Turkey, Indonesia, Philippines, Japan, Switzerland, Norway, South Africa, Egypt, and Taiwan. So there's a lot of interest rate hikes that is going to happen, and a lot of these interest rate hikes might be front running the US as well. So it makes borrowing money even harder, which means that the liquidity in the market, in the global market scale, will be more scarce, right? So definitely keep an eye on this, and this is also one of the reasons why we had such a huge sell-off. Okay, crypto market cap, we are at 935 billion now. Bitcoin trading at 19,307, kind of going back up slightly and now sideways. Ethereum 1,361, still kind of previous lows, but there is some FUD about Ethereum today, really. So stable coins, kind of a slow uptick, basically means that people are moving to stables with this kind of relief pump. Market in general, mixed, green and red. If you look at the crypto market cap, still, in a downward trend. We haven't broken through this up. So we have seen this hovering size for some time, but now we're going back down. This is definitely going to be affected by the FOMC meeting tomorrow. So if you look at the Bitcoin dominance, really, if you look at this, Bitcoin dominance is kind of retreating a little bit, right? But still, it's higher than 40 that we saw yesterday. Ethereum slight uptake, but as I said, stablecoin dominance. Look at these upward tick, right? These are the stablecoin dominance, showing that people are moving to stable, and also one of the reasons why stablecoin is strong. Hey, Mika, I'm gonna talk about LFG very shortly. Thank you for tuning in. But you missed the Wintermute hack thing that I was talking about. But feel free to go back there and watch again if you want. If you look at on-chain data, nothing much to really share with you besides all of the big moves that already happened, especially with the ETH 2.0. But just to have a look at the news headlines, right? So I talk about the Wintermute hack and also the the handling for them. Alameda to be paid 200 million in Bitcoin and Ethereum to bankrupt crypto broker Voyager. So in the filings for Voyager, it seems that Alameda owned money to them. So he's Sam Bankman-Fried, they saying that hey, they could pay it back. Tribe DAO, we pay Rally Capital hack victims again. SEC, this is one of the biggest news that I think we should be aware of. So SEC claims all Ethereum falls under US jurisdiction, okay? I'm going to talk about this using the CoinMarketCap article. So basically there's a lawsuit with a crypto influencer sharing a certain token on the Ethereum blockchain. And, the SEC says something that really makes people nervous when you are in Ethereum, right? So I will cover that shortly, but one thing that I want you to know is that if you hold Ethereum fork token, right, the Grayscale investment to move to sell all Ethereum proof of work tokens, right? So if you still hold these tokens, I just want to let you know there's a chance that will be a huge selling pressure because Grayscale is going to have passively received the right to fork ETH proof of work tokens. And as you all know, Grayscale does hold a lot of Ethereum before the merge. They are looking to sell these tokens and distribute net cash proceeds to record date shareholders, right? So they're going to sell this as like free money to give to the shareholders. So definitely even more selling pressure besides the replay attack that we saw yesterday. So yesterday in the news, we said that the proof of work chain had a replay vulnerability, which also dumped the token by like around 30-something%. So if you're holding these tokens, it doesn't seem positive. It's kind of bearish right now for these tokens. So SEC, okay, lawsuit claim jurisdiction as ETH nodes are clustered in the US, okay? So basically, they made an unprecedented claim. So this is new, okay? Claim that Ethereum transaction took place in US as Ethereum nodes are clustered more densely in the US than in any country. Okay, so an SEC argument found within a September 19 lawsuit, which is just yesterday, against crypto researcher and YouTuber Ian, which alleged, among other complaints, that he conducted an unregistered offering of his tokens when he formed an investing pool in Telegram in 2018. So they're saying that the fact that we got a US-based plaintiff, a US-based defendant, and transaction flowing from the US is what is most relevant here. It doesn't really matter whether the payment was done on Ethereum, MasterCard, or any payment network that matters, right? So what are they saying is that because one thing you do have to know is that the SEC basically wants to get the regulatory rights for all securities, right? Because they're the securities the commission, right? So they are hinting that Ethereum is proof of stake, so all proof of stake are actually securities. So now this is actually a new unprecedented thing of them trying to say that, hey, currently 42.56% of the 7,807 Ethereum nodes are situated in the US, right? So since a lot of these nodes are in the US law apply, and therefore the SEC could regulate this because the whole thing, the person being sued is in the US, the people suing that person, the SEC, is also in the US, and a lot of these nodes are based in the US, and a lot of transactions are in the US. So I think this is SEC saying that, hey, we have jurisdiction in terms of Ethereum and especially token issuance. So that's why come to us to register your tokens. That's what they've been doing, right? So this is definitely some thought when it comes to decentralization and also regulation. Because what if they decide to come up with a court order asking exchanges to maybe do some sort of blocking or some sort of censorship for Ethereum or related tokens, right? So that's why one of the reasons why we have the macro environments, but we have the most bullish thing that happened to Ethereum, which is a merge. But the reason why it is trading sideways and there is no recovery in a short period of time is that because there's so many thoughts surrounding the proof of stake arguments, and also the validator nodes, and also how decentralized it is, and whether if it fails the Howey test, that the SEC will have regulation. And if the SEC does have regulation and also authority on the Ethereum blockchain, basically it means that all the other tokens that are being minted under that will fall under the jurisdiction, which basically really shows you that Bitcoin is the only one that's decentralizing now, and also one proof of work chain that does not fall under the regulations. So definitely be careful. But there is also another talk that the CTFC, which is another regulatory organization, might have more regulation and oversight on the cryptocurrency market. So LFG, yes. So the news today, I think an interesting one is that Coinbase partnered with ENS Domains to create CBID username, fee to claim web fee username. So it shows you that ENS is here to stay, .eth address are here to stay. And QQL site launch is open to all user, a generative art NFT experiment with Tyler Hobbs. This is also quite interesting because he is the creator of Fidenza, which is actually a art NFT project that is commanding a very high floor price, and also co-founder of Arpeggios, a generative art marketplace. And Multipiece, these are other different type of projects that have minted. I think this is interesting about stats. So what it's saying is that, it seems that everyone is gone, but it seems that the stats, the user transactions, returning buyers are actually higher. And then if you look at this, so Nansen Intern was saying that, we have NFT summer last year, but it seems like even though the volume is now down, there is stats that users, so more and more users are transaction, but maybe lower volume, right? Lower liquidity, more and more transactions and returning buyers. So it means that these buyers or people within the NFT space does have that conviction. So another interesting one is Putty Penguin. We did cover this. So they are saying that the first ever collectible is coming out with a toy line with PMI Toys. So this is actually quite big because PMI Toys is actually a traditional toy brand, which is really exciting. So let me show you PMI Toys. Okay. So this is PMI Toys, and I think that one of the really interesting thing about NFT is a lot of these team people are people who make who are very technically they're very smart in terms of the technology and stuff like that, but not a lot of them know how to build a brand or build products, right? But now if you're partnering with PMI Limited, who have been doing partnerships with Among Us, which is such a big and popular game brand, and also look at this Peggy Pig. Baby Shark, and also a lot of these major children game toys, this is actually quite big because they have a lot of licenses and these people trust PMI. So Punchy Penguin having this collaboration with them is definitely very bullish for the brand. So I think these are the really interesting news in my opinion. But if you are interested, definitely check out FFG News. I love that Mika and his team has a lot of conviction and does share with us these really insightful news. So that's it, guys. This is your host, Non-Fungible TC. Thank you for signing in. If you like what I've been talking about, remember to like and subscribe, share it with your friends. And if you want to know, share them about the Wintermute, feel free to share it as well. This is your host, Non-Fungible TC, signing out.